The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. Powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.
Excellent suit, Ham.
Thanks so much, Andy. I love your top hat and monocle.
Thank
is that
you.
gold bullion you're sitting on?
It certainly is.
Must mean it's time for the board meeting.
Hey, Cackling Jack, that's some flashy cufflinks you've got.
Thanks, my mum got them for me.
Appreciate you turning your helicopter off during the meeting. I can't hear when you're flying that thing around the office.
Jack, it's very uncorporate to say thanks.
that's
My
not cool.
mum got them for me.
Well, I thought when you said that, I try to imagine the only cufflinks I have, and my mum did get them for me.
Yeah, but Andy's not really sitting on a gold bullion, so it was a game about...
Yeah, no, and I didn't use my imagination.
Yeah.
So
You used-
I'll try again next time.
You imagined you were in cufflinks, but you still gave it a touch of reality. Nice gold bullion you're sitting on, Anna. Thanks, the Reserve Bank let me have it for the day. Hey, guys, just before we start, the board would like to recognise Anna Booth.
We should say that there is a degree of urgency with today's board meeting.
It's a rush meeting. We're all heading for a long weekend.
Yeah.
But we'd like to recognise Anna Booth, dedicated listener
Anna
of the
Booth.
show, and we'd just like to dedicate this board meeting to her.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. She gets a dedication. It's for Anna, but also for everyone.
Oh, of course. Can I start, guys, with some board meeting business?
Yes.
Like specific questions come in about how we run the board meeting.
Don't tell me we need another meeting to set out how we run the board meetings. Too many meetings now in our life. We've given up daily radio, and now all we do is meet.
Really good question, Em. Would you go to another boardroom to talk about this boardroom?
Well, since we're actually in a storeroom, people can find pictures of the boardroom on the internet. It's sitting in front of our props rack, which is pretty much all we own in the production company world.
Yep.
Maybe we just move out the other end of the storeroom over near the toilet rolls over there. That can be our pre-boardroom meeting area.
This is from Elsie. The board recognises Elsie.
We recognise you, Elsie.
An important issue to bring up in your next boardroom meeting, guys. What drinks are you running with? I hope it's not boring boardroom water.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Anytime you have to have a meeting, they give you water. And it actually just reiterates to you how bored you are.
How good's this?
Oh, yeah, we got a tub of drinks.
Yeah.
I don't even know we had that.
Yes.
Who wants one? Oh, I don't mind if I do take a Schweppes lemonade.
Yeah, that's fine.
And do you want a world-famous Coca-Cola cola drink?
I'm more of a AC Clear Cola guy, but
Okay, well, since this boardroom's not from 1994... Jack, how would you like a mini bottle of San Pellegrino?
Oh, thank you.
right,
All right,
fantastic.
now we've got our product placement out of the way and hit most companies. Can I throw a little bit of a...
Sorry, can I just bring
request
something to everyone's attention?
The shredder's not in here.
Okay.
Can I just rip the emails this way? Sorry.
Cool.
We get a lot of... it's no secret for long-term listeners of the show that we love a fake name. Earl Squirrelson, of course, being the greatest and best fake name ever. So we do get occasionally some people choose to email in under a fake name. And we always enjoy this. We always enjoy this. The board recognises Bobo Wonderluff. Now, the reason I think Bobo Wonderluff is a fake name, he's put his age down as 103.
Okay, yep.
My favourite thing about this is, though, when we get these emails, we get name, email address, phone number, age, address, and suburb. So we ask people for a few details, in case we need to contact them, send something out to them. Anyone that emails in under a fake name, I love the fact that they'll also go, so Bobo Wonderluff emails in with, his address is bobowonderluff@gmail. Like, our system will detect if you put a different name in, like Jake Stevens at Gmail. Doesn't match Bobo Wonderluff. Reject email. I like the dedication that people go to.
Yeah.
We recognise you, Bobo Wonderluff. Thanks for contacting us.
Got a couple of... Can I do two in a row here, Ham?
Yeah, go for it. Because the board meeting this week should be just split up into random John business and other.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So we're still in other.
I've got two
lemonade.
here that are non-John based. Okay, and I suppose they both fall into the category of I thought you would have figured this out by now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one is from Angela Rattis.
We recognise you, a rat.
Yeah. Hey
Bit
guys,
offensive.
aren't you doing the show from Monday to Thursday anymore?
Nope. I hope not.
the
We haven't been in for weeks.
Now, I thought when we announced it last year and did a lap of the country...
What were we saying thank you for?
With specific shows in every state, all those podcasts were definitely pushing forth the fact that, yes, we've gone back to 1 day a week. We thought we'd have covered that off. But Angela, just to bring you up to speed, just Fridays.
Well, I love that she's written in for that. She's never going to hear this on the podcast because she obviously doesn't podcast. But
This one's from an Elsie Malt.
Hello, Elsie. Have we had a Dulcie and an Elsie?
I'm not sure. No,
Did we have? That's two Elsies I've got down.
It is two Elsies. Not sure if it's the same Elsie. Okay.
Hang on, my next one's from Elsie as well. Do we only have one podcaster? Don't tell me Elsie's Bobo Wonderluff.
Elsie has asked Ham, could we please bring back the People's Chip, right?
Okay, yeah.
For people who don't know this story, a few years ago, we and the people invented a chip. It turned out to be gravy-flavoured ham.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It was delicious, and there was only a finite amount of packages. This is what she's exactly said, though. Can you guys bring back the People's Chip in a new flavour?
Yeah. He just like chips.
My point is, the people only had one chip. It's like, can you bring back Seinfeld with new characters and new storylines? Like,
You know what
but
I'd
none
love?
of the regular characters in there. Like Jerry, I hate it.
I'd love the Beatles to reform with new songs and a new sound.
And new people in it. So,
Well, same ingredients, I assume. Potato would be the massive ingredient. She just wants new seasoning.
I know, but
what
that's-
she's looking for is the next take on seasoning.
I would say, though, that the people we weren't revolutionary with taking the potato aspect of the People's Chip
fried thin potato was already there.
was already there. I
We just
maintain
tarted up a chip.
I maintain that the flavouring was all the people got together on.
Yeah.
So Elsie, no.
No, and stop emailing an Elsie under different names. And Nigel Maxwell, the board recognises Nigel Maxwell. He's written in about Hawg's inventions, and he's noted that that when it comes to our mate Hawg's coming on the show, coming up with inventions, quite often Japan beats him to the punch. And really, Hawg's only successful invention was the song "I Hate Mondays."
Yeah. Can I just, on that point, Ham?
Yeah.
Imagine Hawkes was throwing around inventions 400 years ago when obviously the internet didn't exist. Sure, the Japanese might have been years ahead of him, but no one would have ever found out.
He would have been
Hawkes,
an absolute savant.
Unfortunately, the world that we live in, the World Wide Web sector, has really just brought Hawkes undone here.
Or he's clearly nicking them off the Japanese and thinking we won't find out, and every week we do. I Hate Mondays was really his heyday. Hawkes. It was a Monday for everyone else. It was a heyday for him. The absolute pinnacle of just an invention seen through to execution. He saw a gap in the market. There hasn't been a song recently about hating Mondays.
Or about hating any days, but
and
specifically Mondays.
The market was crying out for one.
We should point out that Harry Connick Jr. scored the piece.
Probably professional musicians helping out did have a. There was an element of that.
Newton Faulkner went on to record it.
There's a Japanese cartoon called Baka to Test Shu Kanju. The lyrics translate to Monday, 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 the day after a day off, that should be a day off too. Monday, 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 I just can't believe it, I hate Mondays.
When was that recorded?
Literally a Japanese song called I Hate Mondays.
Who's that sent by?
That was sent in by Nigel Maxwell.
Can Nigel...
And we've got it from a few people, because Hawkes was on last week's radio show, and a couple of people have emailed in going... It's a Japanese song. There is a Japanese song called I Hate Mondays. The good news is...
Can we action that?
Nige thinks this was only recently that it aired in Japan, so Hawkes might have beaten the Japanese to the punch.
Well, there's two things that we have to action out of this meeting, which is rare because we generally don't action anything. Haim, can I put forth that we ask Nige now... we could even email him back, but we'll ask him. We'll see if this system works. Can you send us?
He's given us the YouTube link.
Oh, has he? Oh, well, don't worry about Nige.
Yeah, no, Nige, don't worry about. Well, the thing is, I've printed the email off now, Nige, and there's a long link. I don't want to type that in. I'll go back and find your email, Nige, and I'll just hyperclick it.
All right, so congrats to Nige.
Yeah, Nige,
we'll
thank
have
you.
it on not next week's show, but the week after.
We'll see if we can have the comparison.
And then we'll also get a date and time of when they came up with theirs. And would Hawkes have to retract his song? I mean, I don't know.
Well, we know he got $760 for it, so he'd probably need to donate that all to Quake victims.
Or just the
tsunami
band.
victims.
The band, Ichikawa, or whatever the band's name is.
I reckon if you rang up the band and said, hey, we're thinking of giving it to the Red Cross or you, it'd be a pretty gutsy move from them to go, we'll take it.
Okay, yeah.
Are we close? I mean, obviously from the last board meeting, and you and I acknowledge we haven't seen Harry Potter. The number of emails we got with pictures such as what I'm holding up of the golden snitch and of some kid with glasses holding a stick, i.e. Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The number of hate emails we got from Harry Potter fans probably does drive us to say, I'm sure he's a very fun wizard.
Yep.
He's a great kid. It's a fun series.
Yep.
It is cool.
Love
and
the
we'll
snitch.
get round to see it. The golden snitch is my bitch. Is a T-shirt that I'm working on and sort of bitch in a fun kind of gangster way.
Okay.
I think we're getting close. The only other business I've got, we're getting close to Random John business.
Or maybe I'll just bring up this one if
The
that's
only other
all right.
business I've got is the mullet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The board recognises Brendan Murray.
Brendan Murray.
Brendan Murray he lives in Ireland. As a hobby, he DJs on a Saturday night. He plays at a rock and roll bar, and to quote him, "I'd really like to up my rep with your one-of-a-kind mullet. Can also take some snapshots and send them back to you."
On this great listener who recently took the mullet ham to parent-teacher interviews, a teacher, there was some criticism that she let one of the parents have a go.
Did she?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw this.
didn't see that.
There's
Oh,
photos up on the web, and she's doing a great job wearing it, and obviously commanding a lot of respect.
No, you don't let other people have a go.
Exactly.
That's like going to the maternity ward and going, "Can I see my baby?" No, I'll let the janitor have a go of hold of him.
Well,
It's not your baby to give out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only allowed to look after him and not give him out to... Janitor's wearing him around on his head. The janitor's got your baby on his head and he's DJing. No, that's not what my baby's for.
No,
The baby's to
exactly.
put on my head when I DJ. Or only people who I give authority to.
And that's the problem. She's effectively sublet the mullet. Now, I don't think she did it for profit. I don't think she said, "Give me 50 and you can have a go."
She's just
but
caught up in the
she
moment.
got caught up in the moment, and rightfully she was criticised. I think she was just trying to do the right thing. I don't blame her.
The paperwork that we make people fill out is over 100 pages long. And we have to do that because it's a $500,000 asset we're giving you for a laugh.
Exactly.
And if we're going to be giving you a $500,000 head excitement asset, yes, we need 100 pages is the brief version. You should see the real contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
It does quite clearly say in there, don't let other people have a go.
In the head excitement asset document.
I know you probably skim-read that. No one's reading 100 pages. But legally...
Do we?
You effed up, and you owe us.
So I don't know whether she has to ring that parent and get some cash for... Like, I don't know.
Somehow erase that person's memory. Like, that person's got free fun off the mullet.
Whether she's got that Will Smith thing from Men in Black where
She should.
you could...
Yeah, I was sort of thinking electroshock therapy, but again, it just creates a...
Yeah.
You know, then the parent's angry at the school because they made her have electroshock therapy
therapy,
because
yeah.
she accidentally tried on a mullet at a parent-teacher night.
Yeah.
And it becomes... Suddenly we're in the newspapers.
My point of bringing this up, Haim, and this is... I don't want to get too businessy, but it is a business meeting. As you can see, I've done my tie back up.
Jack's got 2 ties on.
Do we give it to a fellow? He's in a high excitement area. There's plenty of people that will want to go.
Yep.
Sure, he's protected by the DJ booth, and no one can go into the DJ booth unless you're hot stuff and wearing some hot short shorts. But can we trust him?
Quite simple. Brendan, if you listen to this board meeting, I want a 300-word essay by you on why we should send the mullet, halfway around the world. What security assurances can you give us?
300 words
300
exactly?
words.
Exactly, or...
We'll read it out the next board meeting.
Is it exactly, or can he go under or over?
I'll leave that up to Brendan.
Okay.
How much do you want to push us here, Brenny?
Yeah. Go exactly.
Hint, it's a test of character.
Yeah, it is, isn't
You've
it?
been given the word limit. How much do you respect word limits?
We're running out of time, so I'm happy to leave this one till next week.
John News?
But just can I recognise Jared Primavera?
Recognised.
See you next week, Jared.
See you next week, Jared. Jared Primavera, the board officially apologises for not getting to your business in time. Quickly, John News.
John News.
Love this from Anish Tiwari.
Anish Tiwari.
Board recognises AT.
Yep.
The message simply reads, if you're having phone problems, I feel bad for your son. I made 99 phone calls, but a John ain't one. An awesome shout-out to some of Jay-Z's earlier, edgier work in the pre-Beyonce days. Great lyric. He's
lyric.
obviously made 99 phone calls. He's got a John. That's good news for you and I, Ando, because
Yeah.
it means if we do play Random John for another 2 years,
Yep.
we're almost guaranteed to get one.
I haven't bought any John-based emails.
Oh, haven't you? Let me just quickly run through this. I got 2 to get through.
Go for it.
Board recognises Jackie Huang.
Yep.
Jackie, not happy with the rule I suggested last board meeting. For brand new listeners of the board meeting, I mean, I'm sure this is going over old ground, but Random John, we put a random phone number in the system. Hopefully whoever picks up is a John. Other radio stations are now playing it around the world. Everyone playing for the Golden John or a John Honourable Mention. I said, you brought up the email of it. Should be, what if a John Johnson picks up?
I think it was Johnny Johnson.
And I said, you get
500
50. I think I said you get 50 points for a John Johnson and 120 points for a Johnny Johnson.
Okay, that's
and
right.
that's how we got into the golden snitch discussion last week. She said, yeah, you shouldn't be belittling the sport of Random John by providing 50 or 120 John points for John Johnsons. Try to retain the seriousness of it, and although you're the rule keepers, you shouldn't be abusing your power.
Yeah.
A solid...
Good call.
I think she's tried to say here a solid 2 or 3 points for a John Johnson.
Yeah, it makes more
acceptable,
sense.
but she's used a slash, so it actually reads like a fraction. So it actually looks a solid 2/3 points should be acceptable for a John Johnson.
No, she makes a good point, because she makes a good point, Cam, because if
It sets up the
FIFA
amusing
officials...
it sets up the amusing scenario, though. What if we called someone and went, is that John? Yes. Oh, my God, we've got it. Is that John Johnson? Yes. Minus a third. We'll only take 2/3 of a John point.
She makes a good point, though, because if FIFA came out and said something like any goal is scored if you quickly put a red nose on, and you
That's not hard.
it would be.
No,
if you're on a run...
If FIFA came out and said, if you kick a goal, right, at, I don't know, the English grounds, Old Trafford, okay, but... you're actually playing in Ireland. Right, so you've kicked it across continents, you kicked it across land masses, then you can have 120 goals. That's about as hard as finding a Johnny Johnson. Okay?
I'm not convinced,
No,
though.
it's something in between those two. Andy's is very easy, yours is very
Putting on a red
impossible.
nose, as a coach, you'd actually be having a go at all your players that didn't put the red nose on. Now, McGibbons, you scored a goal. We've all got red noses in our pockets. I don't know why you didn't put your red nose on, because we would have got 100 more goals.
My point,
It was no good.
my point is, though...
Not hard, McGibbons. You went over.
My point is-
You're doing somersaults near the corner flags.
Coach McGibbons here. My coach McGibbons here. If I may, I was running in certain goal. Had someone try to chase me down. I worried that if I went and reached in for my goal, for my red nose.
You score a goal, then you put a red nose on. That was the rule that was outlined before.
No, you didn't get to it. You actually stopped me and talked about cross-continent kicking.
Jack, read the minutes back. You said it'd be like saying if you scored a goal, then put a red nose on, you get 100 goals.
We're going to have to go back.
The last thing I've written in the minutes is 99 probs and a John ain't one. And then
all I can say, if we review the tape, I was explaining that if you put a red nose on to score a goal, right? So basically, what you have to do is make sure it's on before you kick it. But you can't kick
Be
it.
prepared for the emails that state you said it the other way round.
All right.
I reckon for board members who are in a hurry, we've spent 5.5 minutes talking about how many goals you get when you're wearing a red nose in soccer. So, are we wasting time or are we using it wisely?
My point is, if I was allowed to get to the end, imagine until you got possession, that's when you had to put the nose on.
Easy.
Then kick a goal. It's not
It's
easy.
okay. Penalties. Penalties. Imagine as the goalkeeper, you'd be standing there going, normally I'm nervous, but he's forgot to put the red nose on. I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah, kick it. Go on, kick it. You'd let it go in and then just yell at the guy, where's your nose? Where's your nose? You forgot to put your nose on, you idiot. That was 99 less goals than you could have had. Idiot! It'd be like the humiliation of missing a goal at the World Cup from the penalty spot would be replaced by the humiliation of, despite the fact the crowd was yelling, nose! Put your red nose on!
Forgetful nose application. We must go.
We've got to go. There's last quick one. Last person we want to recognise, Trav Mead. On this random John Johnson debug. He said, guys, listening for a long time of our podcast, He works the night shift. He's an Aussie listener, but he can't listen to the show live. He said, I've been doing my part to help. Whenever I get a call from a blocked or unknown number, I'm answering it as hello, John Johnson speaking. This, of course, has resulted in a lot of people hanging up due to a wrong number, so I might be missing out on a lot of or all the important calls I need to take, but most likely it's just creditors wanting my money. So here's hoping one day my number will be dialed on the random John, and you can speak to John Johnson
for a 50 pointer or 2/3, depending on which rule we're going with.
So it's more. We need more guys like Trav Mead, who's given up the whole purpose of phones now. No one can get in touch with him because he's changed his name only for the phone to John Johnson.
Guys, we better go. Loosen your ties. Let's go for after work drinks.
Yeah, have a great Easter wherever you are in the world.
Apologies, no regular show for Pants Off Friday this Friday. But, boy, are we going to have a cracker in 2 Fridays' time, because the Friday after this one is dedicated to a TV awards ceremony in Australia.
That's only relevant for Australian listeners.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, thanks so much for joining us. Board dismissed.
That was the Hamish and Andy Show podcast, powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.